when we grew up, we were told, look, this is the way it's going to be. You're black, you're white. This is what you can expect. And I mean, I remember feeling like, well, what does that have to do with me? And then I got an experience. And then I understood.
I'm a brown woman of Latin descent, or so I thought. And then one day, I found out that I was half African American, and my world changed. The elementary school I attended was comprised mostly of Black and Latino kids, with a sprinkling of white kids. I recall gravitating to the Black kids for friendship because they looked like me, not knowing that I was Black. This was the first time I heard anyone say to me, "You're Black." I would respond with, "No, I'm not." They would say, "Yes, you are." And I would show them a picture of my Latino dad with his dark skin and curly, slicked back hair. And they'd say, "That's not your father." We'd go round and round, me never relenting who my father was, and them never relenting that I was Black. In college, people would either debate within my earshot or just ask me,
"What do you think she is? Go ask her." "No, you go ask her."
"What are you? What is she?
"What is she?
Are you Black?"
Where are you from?"
"I think she's Black."
"What is she?"
"I don't think she's Black. Look at her nose."
"I don't think she's
Her nose isn't Black."
She looks Black to me.
But she's not white.
Mexican.
And I think
What
she's
is
Hispanic.
She could be mixed.
But what about her lips and her hair? She's Black. You're Black.
Grandma, how do you spell the word blonde?
Why do you need to spell blonde? What are you guys doing? ¿Qué están haciendo?
Well, because we're creating a team.
Okay, so why is it called a blonde team?
Because everybody's blonde.
Why is everybody blonde? And why is everybody white?
Grandma, because blonde is pretty, and we like blonde, and it looks good.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me that your mom, with her long dark hair, is not pretty, no es bonita? And that your aunt, with her dark hair, is also not pretty? And that your grandma, even though I am older, is not bonita? And then, looking at yourselves, you're not blonde or white. Do you not think that you're pretty either?
When I went to school, I was hip-hop me, and I tried to own it. You know, even though I lived in an affluent white neighborhood, I was the source to the ghetto, and I was so down. Folks would look to me as the embodiment of Black culture, and I tried to own it. I had Black friends that went to my church, so I had street credibility. And I could use that Blackness to make my Blackness seem even more cool. You knew it was cool, because everybody was listening to our music. Everybody wanted to, dance like us. So if you could own that, it was cool.
I definitely understood I was different. Whether it was Black or white, I knew I was different, but I didn't accept it at all. So like all the way from elementary school to middle school, it was like me kind of projecting that difference and pushing it aside. Looking at what was making me different was the fact that I was Black, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Leading up into high school, I completely avoided the word Black, even if it wasn't something negative. Even if someone would simply mention the fact, I'm Black and they're white. I felt offended by that. Even if it wasn't an offense, I was afraid of the word. I was afraid of being Black, and I even found myself being racist towards myself. I really didn't have any Black icons that I looked up to. I really didn't know anyone who was like, oh, I'm Black, and that's cool. Everyone was just like, oh, I have really pretty blue eyes, or my hair is lusciously blonde and has nice waves. So I kind of just found myself in fear of this word, and in my mind, I thought of Black as an insult. So I was just like, no, I'm not Black. I'm not Black, guys. I'm white. No worries, no need to worry. I'm just like you.
It's hard to imagine myself as white, but sometimes I think what would it be like to be white and have a white family? Like would I have more friends or something? Would I look different in clothes and stuff?
Do you really believe that you're not as good as someone else because you're not blonde or have white skin?
Well, everything that we see is about blonde people. There's nothing about brown people.
Before learning I was Black, it felt odd being asked what I was because I connected with people's character, not their skin color. But this constant question of what I was began to subconsciously influence my perception of American ideals and success. At some point, I began to adopt the culture of white America and abandon the culture I was raised with. How messed up was that? Ironically, I found myself feeling cultureless, and I realized I had actually been devaluing myself.
There's kind of like two personas I found myself putting on sometimes. When I'm with my white friends, I'm a whitewashed me. I think a certain way and act a certain way based on the fact that I know I'm an outlier. I realize that the me when I'm with my black friends and the me when I'm with my white friends are two completely different people. It's hard to tell sometimes what's the real me because I have to change who I am all the time based upon who's around me rather than just being who I am.
I don't think there's any getting away from being certain ways, in certain circumstances, with certain company, talking different. It's a code switch. But it happens in a lot of different circumstances, not just color. It happens when you're in church versus when you're in a club. It does vary.
I actually had purposely decided to not make friends with black people because it's easier to blend when there's just one person than when there are two of us, because then I'd stand out. We'd stand out. In my head, I felt like, well, I didn't have many options because for a long time, I've been going to white schools, and in my head, I assumed like, oh, I must just not like black guys then. Or maybe I just only like light-skinned guys. When I was younger, I felt that media and people and celebrities weren't necessarily saying that black is beautiful or that black was a thing to be. So I figured, okay, well, I guess black must not be cool. I figured I have to like someone that's cool, right? Not someone that's not cool. So that left me with white. And so in my head, I was like, okay, I guess I shouldn't like black people then.
A lot of black people probably have those internal feelings. And so even in a classroom, you're not even identifying with each other. You're trying to distance yourself. She's black. Let me not put myself beside her, or they might see that I'm black too.
I think it's definitely different for guys than it is for girls. I feel like there's specifically harsh perceptions about black girls because it's always like, oh, she's sassy and snappy and she has an attitude kind of thing. I've heard this from white guys and white girls. I've heard this from a black guy I talked to even, that people don't necessarily like black girls because they have an attitude or they always have something to say. And with this, I'm also thinking about the theme of being different at my school. It's filled with a lot of people who are very privileged and they do happen to be white. I feel like a lot of times they have this perceived notion that black somehow equals ghetto. I find it funny and almost stupid that if a white person acts as a ghetto, or like one of my friends, or a guy that's white, who is then seen as cool or something when they act black, when they like rap songs or like to wear hoodies or like to live in black culture, I mean, that's okay. He's being cool. He's with the trend. But the second that I start being black or like not acting like whitewashed me, then it's like, oh, okay, she's being ghetto and it's not okay anymore. I feel like it's not cool that white people have managed to take over our culture, and it's okay with them, but not okay when we actually live our culture. Then that's the taboo. Like, for example, if I were to wear hoop earrings or listen to rap music at school, like all of a sudden I would be labeled as the ghetto girl or stupid, or I'd just be the black me, and that's all they'd see. It really makes no sense at all.
Well, how can you fix that?
Well, Grandma, I have blonde streaks in my hair.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you any better than your sister. So how can you fix this? A ver, ¿cómo van a arreglar todo esto?
Well, I guess we can make another team. Yeah, Grandma, we can make another team and call it the brunette team.
Oh, so you have to have separate teams now? Todo separado? So you have to have a team made up of all blonde people and a separate team with just brunettes?
Why don't we put girls that all look different together? They're all beautiful, so it doesn't really matter.
What a great idea, Papi. Instead of making a team of people you don't know, gente que no conocen, make a team of yourselves. Make a team of your friends, todos tus amigos. Find the beauty in the people that you do know, como tu familia. Find the beauty in yourselves.
When my daughter came back from teen conference, she came back loving her blackness, loving to be around black people and recognizing finally that black boys are beautiful.
And so it was definitely a game changer for sure. And my eyes were kind of open, and I was like, wow, whoa, black is beautiful. And my melanin is beautiful, whoa. But especially once I started realizing that and started hanging out with more black people, I found myself becoming prouder of it. And I think being in an all-white school has obviously had some negative effects, but when it comes to introspection, it has so many positive effects. And I now know that what I do matters, because I'm kind of like the mascot. I represent black people at my school. I now know that how I act kind of sets the foundation for all these people's minds, because they don't know black people. They don't know black.
You need to be the difference. You don't have to be just black. You can be Nubian and ubiquitous and uniquely black. Not everyone is a stereotype they try to make us out to be. There are queens, even in the ghetto. You can be black and be the queen. When you get to college, your thing is being different. I'm the educated black girl. You can own your preppiness or your educatedness. You'll eventually love both sides. They're the perfect culmination of you that has more of this, more of that. And that uniqueness is going to make you so much more beautiful because you know yourself now. And nothing is sexier than a woman who knows herself. Just ask your mom.
Learning that I was black was like finding a puzzle piece I didn't know was missing and seeing a whole different, more beautiful portrait of myself when I put it in place. How I long for a day when race and skin color are no longer the basis of how we measure each other or ourselves. Knowing what I am has led me to a deeper understanding of who I am, a woman, an artist, a human being. And the more I learn about my rich ethnic heritage mix, I realize that I'm so much more. I look at black and Hispanic people with new eyes, and I see so much beauty in the radiant skin colors, hair textures, and facial features we possess. I'm actively working on a deeper connection to the people and cultures that are my heritage because I know that I belong to them and they belong to me. Whenever I come across people or surveys that want me to pick a race or ethnicity, I don't want to. I want to embrace everything that's in my DNA to claim, so I choose all of the above.